So this is a watch that may surprise you because I'll let you try to guess what it is. As you know, we do only legends and icons. You can see it as a map of a city, more or less. You can see it's a sort of 3D map, and actually I'll help you a little bit. This is the 3D map of Berlin in 1989. It was in 1989 was the fall of the wall. And last November last year were the celebration of the 25 years of the fall of the wall, which has been an event that really marked me when I was young. I was 17 at the time, and it's been, I would say, one of these marking moments of my life. I always wanted to do a watch in connection with that moment. So you can see we did a dial that is made out of concrete, so that's pretty unusual. We did a micro mold in silicone, filled it up with concrete. Part of the concrete comes from the wall itself, and reproduced the 3D dial of the city. Okay, so you can see these are all the buildings, and you can see the river, the Spree River, in blue that goes through the city, and the red part, which is the wall. But since we're celebrating the end of the wall, the end of the Cold War to a certain extent, which is an important moment, you may know that the wall fell at night and that people moved out from east to west during the night. So we did a nice little feature. This is the day view, and then at night, so the dial fills up with the sun, and at night the wall, which is red, becomes green. Okay? Why? Because people left the country at night, so it's like a stop and go. So red during the day, green at night. And you can see how the river lights up and the wall lights up. So I can actually, if you do like this, actually we can just hold this over on top of it, so we can make it a bit darker. So you can see it at night. It really completely changes the thing. So you don't see the map anymore, you just see the outline of the wall and the river, and it shines at night. So it's a little sort of homage to that, to the fact that it happened all at night, and we wanted to pay tribute to this. So there's a limited edition of 25 pieces. We did it together with the East Side Gallery, which is the biggest open-air museum in the world, or in Europe, I think at least, which is trying to restore pieces of the wall which have been painted by famous artists. Because for me, it's a part of history that has to be maintained, because it's it was a sad part of our history, and I think we always should keep these pieces there to show what sometimes the bad sides of humanity. And one painting on the wall, the most famous painting on the wall, is a painting by Russian artists that's called Brother Kiss, and that is the former USSR President Brezhnev kissing the former Eastern German President Brezhnev. So we reproduced that design. We obviously together with the artist on the back of the case. So you have the two gentlemen kissing on the back of the case, which is also a little bit the way of how we provoke to a certain extent, but also shows the reality of our business. So it's a very famous painting, probably the most famous painting on the wall, but you can quite nicely see and put a little bit of a, you have to play a little bit with the light, the perspective. Maybe just, here we go. You can see the details of this famous painting. Limited edition of only 25 pieces, because it's the 25th anniversary of the fall of the wall. And for me, it was a very nice way of paying tribute to an important moment of the human history, but also an important moment of my own history, because, as I mentioned before, I mean, for me, I would say it's one of these founding moments of my life. I was there in front of the TV. People were in front of the TV in 1969. I wasn't there. I wasn't born, so I couldn't assist on the moon landing. There's only a few of these moments in your life, and that's been one of mine, and I want to pay tribute with this watch. So that's one watch that we launched recently, almost sold out. I call it obviously Berlin DNA, because it pays tribute to the wall of Berlin.